let's just start off a little bit about that. You're running as a Democrat in a pretty rural district with District 2. I'm a local, so I understand what it's like
Yeah.
to kind of be running, especially in my lifetime as a Democrat. I guess you can just start off because that's an interesting choice to run as a Democrat, especially in a district like District 2 for the state house.
Well, you're right. You're right. I'm not your normal Democrat that you think of when you think of a Democrat from New York or California. But I'm an Alabama Democrat.
Mm. And I guess can you talk a little bit, because I was listening during the show, you were talking about, the Democratic Party is a big tent party.
It is.
I guess, can you talk about, I won't say you're exactly trying to rehab the image, but you're someone who's definitely trying to say, hey, look, I'm not someone that you're probably going to see on TV and say, oh, that's the Democrat I'm used to seeing.
Well, I was an independent for many years. I voted for Libertarians. I voted for Republicans, Democrats, and Independents as an independent. And I think that I'm probably a Democrat. And but I'm moderate. I'm not a super liberal Democrat. Let me tell you about the district, though.
Okay.
The district I'm in generally votes Republican, okay? Mm-hmm. But I'd say the vast majority of the people over there are like I was. They're independents. Mm-hmm. And they will vote for the best candidate. They will vote for the candidate that's going to work for them and do things for them. And they don't really care about the party as much as you think they would. Now, there are those that are Republicans and they won't vote for anybody else no matter what. And they're Democrats the same way. I'm looking for the independents. And I'm looking for the moderate people that are willing to take a chance on me. And I think I'm a safe bet to vote on me. I'm nothing radical.
And you talk about that, and it's something that I was looking over on your social media, especially. You talk about nothing radical. It's something that you were definitely talking about, though. That's definitely a bit of at least a hot topic issue, not for the people, but for those on Capitol Hill over in Montgomery, is the lottery, especially the educational lottery. I guess, can you talk about your take on that? Because that's basically been we think it's done, it's not done. We think we have something. It's stop, start. For you, do you think you're someone who says, I can go in and we can get this pushed through?
Well, I would definitely push it through either as a bill or I would put it on the ballot and let the people decide. I mean, that would be my preference, is put it on the ballot, let the people vote on a straight lottery bill, yes or no. But here's the thing. The people that want to play a lottery, that want to gamble, are doing it. The money is leaving the state. We don't have the benefit of that money. Millions of dollars are going to Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida. And an additional money is going to the casinos in Mississippi. So what is Alabama? Are we incompetent to run a lottery of our own for our own benefit? No, we're not. We can do that. Are we some sort of island of piety surrounded by other red states? No. So we need to do this. We need to do this for the people. Either let them vote on it or just pass it.
And now I will say, it often seems that this bill usually starts to come back to life around, a couple of years into terms, and then it dies. Any talk dies right before an election year. Do you talked about your district a little bit. Do you think someone like a rural Alabamian would benefit from a lottery bill, especially one that goes towards education?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If we lock in the percentage that the general fund already funds education and say, okay, you can't cut that, we got that percentage, now we're going to add the lottery money on top of that. This could do tremendous things for people. The education is so important in this state. It would allow them to do all kinds of things that they can't do now.
And now you also spoke a little bit about your time working with the Tennessee River Keepers. Yeah. That excellent organization. I have to say, this is just on a personal note, because like I mentioned, I'm a local. But environmental concerns are also starting to become a big deal here. I want to talk a little bit about data centers because those have been a hot topic, especially in the Birmingham metro. I guess let's just start off. What's your take on data centers and I guess the land and the resources that they consume?
Well, we are going to have development. It is going to happen. And what we have to do is make sure that it happens in such a way that it doesn't destroy the environment, that it doesn't raise our utility rates to where we can't afford it. And that's really my take on it. It has to be done properly, but it's going to happen. And it may happen in your backyard. You know, my advocacy would be for the people to make sure that their lives are not negatively impacted by it, because it is going to happen.
And now, speaking of environmental concerns, another big thing is, especially for here in North Alabama, the TVA. There's been some concerns with recent cleanups also. Would you be, if elected, would you be someone who's pushing to make sure that an agency like the Tennessee Valley Authority would make sure to clean up after their messes if, there's found to be environmental concerns at any facilities?
Well, they fall under the federal government and the Environmental Protection Agency, so they are required by law to clean up whatever messes they make. I mean, if they don't do it, I don't know what we could do other than perhaps take them to court. The same way you would with any industry that, pollutes and doesn't clean it up.
And now speaking of industry, because you mentioned this somewhat, of course, 3M indicator, while of course that's not your district, that did impact the parts of Limestone County. When it comes to making sure companies are, staying within those boundaries when it comes to their environmental regulations, are you someone who would say, hey, it's time that we make sure that these companies are also doing their part to clean up?
Well, we're trying to. The Riverkeepers actually sued 3M to do that, and so I'm an advocate for that for sure. I mean, you can't let them pollute and get away with it.
All right. And then I guess this is one of my final questions that I can think off the top of my head. But of course, it seems that, when it comes to the Alabama legislation, it seems that there's always a couple of different ideas where everyone's able to kind of come together and agree. Law enforcement is kind of one of those, where everyone's, usually pretty good on saying, hey, we agree with this bill. Something though that's been a little split-wise has been the recent controversy in Hartselle with the car chase that happened that killed a teenager, unfortunately. We saw bills that would try to limit how pursuits would work. We saw some bills that provide almost immunity for officers. I guess what's your take on those kind of situations? And I guess if you were in the legislature right now, how would you be looking at those bills?
Well, I don't think we need state legislation on it. There probably needs to be some state guidelines and some training and probably some recommendations. As far as pursuits are concerned, they really, they're on a scale. They're graded based on why are you pursuing this person? Sometimes you pull a car over for an expired license plate and then they take off. Okay? Are you going to risk everybody's life for 100 miles and all through the town for that? No. But if they're a murderer, yeah, you're going to have to pursue them. And really, I think it should be left up to the supervisor on the scene, on the radio. When an officer initiates a pursuit, they're required to report it immediately that somebody has failed to stop and is trying to elude them, at high speed or sometimes at low speed. But they're driving recklessly, trying to get away from them. So then the supervisor should get the details of why they're chasing them in the first place and where and what the speed is, and then the supervisor determine whether or not to terminate that pursuit.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I have. Is there anything we didn't talk about that you want to add on to?
Yeah, I got one thing. She was going to prompt me on it out there, but I have made a campaign pledge that I think probably people should know about. It is a campaign promise, to donate almost half of the salary for this job to charities and service organizations within District 2. $500 a week, every week, for 4 years. That's $100,000 of that pay back into the district. I see this as an extension of service. See, I was a police officer, I was military. This is just another way for me to serve the public.